Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I hope y'all are doing great today. Hi, welcome to Starry Tarot. My name is Sophie, or you can call me Starry. Doesn't really matter. Um, if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. Welcome, and thank you for your subscription. If you are returning, welcome back, and good to see you. I am your friendly tarot reader for this evening. This lovely Thursday. Today, I can answer any of your questions that you may have, with the exception of medical and or legal questions. I cannot do that. Today, we are using the one of the few traditional decks that I have. It is the Rider-Waite-Smith, the good old Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And the only difference about this deck is that it's holographic. So it's holographic, as in it's sparkly, but that's not the same thing. It's holographic. It's metallically beautiful, metallically inclined. Yeah, I only have like one other RWS deck, and that's like black and gold. It's like golden boast. I like things to be flashy and sparkly and pretty. Anyway, so yeah, that is what we are using for today. Yes, that is what we are using today. No RC decks today. I am also a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something that you are interested in doing, please let me know before you send your donation in. I have found I was embarrassed a couple of times. I was not able to get in touch with someone once, and for whatever reason, I don't know if they had reincarnated or if they had just not passed over. I'm not quite sure. But I can get in touch with majority of people that have passed on. Like I said, so long as they haven't reincarnated, so long as they have moved on, hasn't been too soon because they've passed, and it hasn't been too long since they've passed. Usually, you know what? A good rule of thumb would be like a 50-year window, I'd say, after someone's passing, at the latest, and then the soonest to contact someone after their passing, I'd say would be about like, I've been able to contact someone, and actually the earliest I was able to contact someone was 2 weeks after their passing. So it's all relative, really, but if it is something you are indeed interested in, please just let me know beforehand, and I can bust out my pendulum, and we can figure out if they are indeed available to communicate with and willing. I also do soulmate confirmation readings. Those can be done in one of two ways. You can ask just point blank, hi, spirit guides, is person in question, which doesn't have to be a romantic person, it could be a person in any formation in your life, capacity, I should say. Are they a soulmate of the person in question? And they will answer yes or no. And they will also answer what, especially if the answer is yes, they'll say, what context they are supposed to be in your life, and what role they're supposed to play, and usually for how long. Or we could ask it in the sense of, do they give their blessing to this person in your life, which isn't necessarily a soulmate thing. I guess that would be a different reading, actually. I guess that would be a blessing reading, but it falls under the same category, asking your spirit guides if they give their blessing or not. Our spirit guides are very, very picky. Our angels are very, very picky about who we keep in our lives. They only want the very, very best for us, so they can be a little harsh. But so when people do get their approval, their blessing from their angels and their spirit guides, it's definitely a big deal. It's nothing to shake a stick at. It's definitely a big deal. Not something I see all the time. So when it does happen, it's very fortunate. Yes, I also have been studying past life regression since I was very, very young, and I have developed my own form of past life regression therapy using tarot and my connection with spirit. As it says in the description, I used to ask it solely with the intent of illuminating a past life of yours that is, or sorry, that was most relevant to, or it, sorry, is most relevant to your current life's journey. Um, that's one way in which we can ask, but we can ask for any reason. We can ask spirit to illuminate a past life of yours that was particularly more challenging than any other past life you've had. Those are really good if you want a gratitude boost in your life. I highly recommend those. Um, you can ask, what life were you the happiest? What life did you feel the most content, the most complete? In which life were the majority of your wants and desires met? Or conversely, in which life were a lot of your dreams and desires not met? Because that would also kind of fall into the category of life of most hardship. A Ten of Wands kind of life that helps us appreciate what we do have in this one. Um, so that is also a reading option. Um, and I answer questions of all types. I answer a lot of romance questions. I answer a lot of spiritual questions, a lot of career questions, a lot of finance questions. Um, I ask a lot of questions about other people. Um, and it doesn't always have to be in a romantic context either. People will come to me and ask, how does this friend of mine think about me? What are her thoughts about me, or what are my boss's intentions towards me? Um, if you do have a question about anyone's thoughts, feelings, or intentions towards you, regardless of whether it's romantic or not, I highly recommend the TFI reading, um, or the OG love reading, as some people call it, but it's not. Like I said, it's not just for romance and love. It can really be for someone um, who is in any place in your life. And it's no additional donation amount, and it simply answers three questions in one, essentially. Their thoughts, their feelings, and their intentions towards you, in addition to your general energies towards this person and this person's general energies towards you. Um, so yeah, I highly recommend that if you are having any questions about how someone is thinking, feeling, or what they're intending towards you at this time. I also offer private readings, always have, always will. I offer two different types. I offer them at no additional donation amount. Offline, well, they're online, but they're not on my live stream. I don't know why I say they're offline, because they're online. Um, Either over Instagram, I record it over voice memos over DM, or I can type it out over email. And again, that's at no additional donation amount. And that is for a few reasons. Some people like that for reasons of discretion. They don't want to talk about their issue publicly on my live stream. Some people like it for reasons of convenience. If y'all have a question that you need me to answer and I'm not online, or you haven't seen me online in a few days, I always have at least one deck of cards on me. Um, Even when I'm traveling, um, except for when I'm at my other job, I have a deck of cards on me. So I'm always available to read from where I am, and I can get back to you within 24 hours at the very latest, but it's usually about a 1 to 3 hour turnaround as soon as I receive your donation. But make sure you make your question clear if you need me to answer your question, because I have had people send me donations and then ask me, like, hey, where's my reading? And they didn't put their question, and so I can't can't answer something I don't know what the question is. I also offer private readings one-on-one by appointment only. Those are via Zoom, and it's very much this setup. If you want to see my face, you can. If you don't have to. We can see more of the card. Especially if we use more cards, sometimes I'll remove my face or add it when I start analyzing or talking about what I'm seeing. But it's essentially this setup. It is this setup. You will see the cards. You will see me. And you book for a specific amount of time, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever the case may be. And we talk as much as you need. Hey, Christy Lynn. Hello, Christy. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we can answer as many questions as you need in that time. You can give me as much backstory as you need in that time. So I really recommend private readings. Well, for everybody, really. They're very thorough and very intimate and just very, you get my undivided attention when on my live stream, but, it's just me and you and no distractions at all. Nobody jumping into the chat or anything, it's just me and you. And yeah, you can give me all the context you need, all the backstory. And we can even tackle multiple issues, more than one issue that you may be struggling with. You're okay? Good to hear. Good to hear. You're the first person in here tonight, Christy. I haven't seen anyone. Well, I've seen people come in and out, but I haven't seen anyone typing in the chat. So I don't know how everyone's doing tonight. It'd be cool if people weren't lurking, could say hello, because I would love to know how y'all are doing today. I don't know where you live, Christy, but it was a beautiful day where I live. Went to a park I haven't been to. I tried going to this one library. I thought it was a bookstore, but I guess it's a library. And they just seem to be closed like every single damn day. And I was a little peeved when I drove all the way over there, only to find that they were still closed. I knew they were closed on Monday. I knew they were closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I thought they opened today. And nobody's there to answer the phone. It's all, I don't even know if they're still open, to be honest. It's so peculiar. It looked like no one had been there in years. But they're still online. It looks like they're still functioning. So that was my day. Oh yeah, I also had a really nice coffee meeting with an old friend of mine / collaborator. So that was really, really nice. You're in Illinois. Very cool. I used to live in Chicago. I used to live in Chicago for a couple of years. And I liked it very, very much. I love the people, the food. Hated the weather. I'm good on the weather. Although it's nice in the summer and springtime. I'm all about it. I don't mind the humidity, actually. I'm weird. Most people really like California dry heat. I don't mind either. Maybe I'd get tired of humidity after a while. That's probably what it is. It's just something I'm not used to. You're by Rockford. I don't know where that is. I don't know the layout of Illinois too well beyond Chicago and its immediate suburbs, and even those I'm starting to forget the names of them. I know I did a photo shoot in a place called Franklin Park, Illinois. I had to take the train out there. So many nice, talented people in Chicago. Like my art modeling and photography, was doing that was I don't want to say it was at its apex then, but I had so much work, and there was just it seemed like there was endless amounts of artists and opportunities. Chicago is about an hour from me. An hour, like, can you take a train? Or is it like an hour's drive? I have a few clients who live in Chicago. Um, yeah. It's interesting though, girl. When I think about it, I would have to say the majority of my clients, I have so many clients that live in Tennessee, which is so oddly specific. Um, but like if I were to map out like at least all the clients that I know where they live, um, so many are from Tennessee, train or drive. Yeah, yeah. The train system's really legit in Chicago. Not a huge, well, not the inner city train one. Like the inner city train is kind of hard to navigate. It's not like the subway in New York or like the metro in Paris. I think those are like the two easiest to navigate. Um, Berlin's public transportation is really easy to navigate too. Amsterdam, forget about it. Amsterdam was so tough, but you can walk anywhere there or bike. Um, yeah, no. I really liked living there. I liked my time spent there. I am drinking the most delicious cup of tea right now. It's like a little like dessert, like liquid dessert. It's my favorite tea. It's only made in Paris. It's red rooibos tea. I low key wanted. I know they have like five other types of rooibos. This brand that I like, this company, tea company, and a friend of mine's in Paris right now, and I asked him to get me a tin of it, and he suggested getting not the red rooibos, but like the white rooibos. I'm like, it's my favorite tea. I know what I want. I just want this. Like, I'm sure the other rooibos is good, but I know can't go wrong with this red rooibos with hints of vanilla. It's just so good. And then I got some. I normally don't like non-dairy creamer. I normally just like whole milk, but I got coconut creamer today with brown sugar in it that I had at a tea party a couple weeks ago at my friend's house. Oh my god, it is so bomb ass. It literally tastes like a little liquid dessert, and I'm all here for it. Especially because my tummy was kind of feeling weird earlier. Had a tummy attack. Weird. I didn't eat. Oh, well, that's probably what it is. I hardly ate anything today, but yeah. Oh, and I got a ton of laundry done, so that was fabulous. Got some organizational things taken care of. Couple not taken care of, but that's okay. They will be taken care of. Have I given my? I think I've given my spiel. Other than talking about how this is a non-twin flame believing channel, which is kind of irrelevant because I'll just be honest. The nearly 5 years I've had this channel, I've had very few people come in and ask like, is so and so my twin? Of course, I've had people ask about twin flames, but very few just come in right off the bat and ask about twin flames. Most people, um, and if they do, they're always super respectful of just rewording it to say soulmate, because that's what I do. It's essentially the same thing, just less of a toxic concept. That's all. Um, oh gosh, that was so irritating. Um, yeah, so I have given my spiel, which means that the donation queue is open. So whoever makes a donation next will be read first. Um, yeah, thank you so much. And for anybody out there watching who hasn't said hello or anything, don't be afraid. Say hello. I won't bite your head off. I'm nice. I'm a nice lady, and I'd love to chat with y'all. I'm definitely here. Anna, thank you so much for your donation, girl. Thank you. Hey, Jessica, how you doing, girlfriend? Happy Thursday to you. How did your interview go? I know that the reading was gloomy doomy, but I am curious to know how the reading went. Miss Anna, I'm doing well today. Thank you, Jessica. I wasn't feeling too well physically, to be honest, earlier. My tummy was kind of hurting. But I managed to get everything I needed to get done today. Had a meeting earlier this morning. I've had a weird halo of a headache like all week, so that's not fun. But other than that, we're doing great. Hope you're doing well, Miss Jessica. It went well, but I can tell it's chaos there, like you said. The tower, was it the tower or the tower reversed? If it was the tower reversed, I mean that's basically chaos. You know, if the tower reversed is saying you're avoiding chaos. If it's upright, it's saying there is chaos there. Thank you so much, Anna. I know I'm just pulling up your payment right now. Thank you. All right. It was the Tower of Bright, yeah. My question is, will I be hearing from Hannah the Leo by the end of this month? Okay. Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Anna by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Anna by the end of this month? Anna be hearing from Anna. Angels, Messengers, and Spirits, will Anna be hearing from Hannah? Will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirits, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? Angels, Messengers, and Spirit Guides, will Anna be hearing from Hannah by the end of this month? And I talked with Patrick about it. He said don't force it and find something that's a better fit. He's worried about my safety. Yeah. And that was you, Christy. Thank you so much, Christy, for your donation, love. Let me go ahead and add you. Okay. And let me put on my glasses. For some reason, I'm having a tough time envisioning today. I need the vision, clarity of vision. Okay, Anna, let's see. We have Knight of Wands reversed, Two of Cups reversed, Temperance, Nine of Wands reversed, and Judgment reversed. Doesn't look like it's. I know I asked. I know the last. I don't know if it was the last reading I did for you, Anna. It might have been the last reading I did for you. I think we asked if you were going to hear from her. And I know you don't want to reach out to her. You want her to reach out to you. I understand that. Good news is you will hear from her. Just not by the end of this month. Okay, because let me get into this. We got this Knight of Wands reversed, this Two of Cups reversed. Especially with this Knight of Wands reversed, the Knight of Wands is, well, it's a no between now and the end of this month. You understand why? Okay, well, I can go through, because Temperance is saying there is going to be communication. It's just delayed. Knight of Wands reverse being delays. Knight of Wands being a desire to do something, but being held back from doing it. And I also see that with this Nine of Wands reverse. I do think, distance is definitely a factor with this Two of Cups reversed. And she has been, like, very self-critical lately, too. With this Judgment reversed. I feel like she's in kind of a low place right now, but with Temperance right here in the center, this isn't the end, Anna. This isn't the end. You guys aren't going to just stop conversing and sharing with one another. You guys are still going to flow, towards one another energetically, communicatively. It's not over. I just don't see it happening between now and the end of this month. But what is it today? The 16th. So not too bad. It could happen by the beginning of next month. But I do see it happening. Just not. You did. Thank you so much, Anna. Please go ahead and post your second question right there in the chat. Thank you. Next question is, will I hear from her by the end of November? You have to go, you'll rewatch. Okay, Anna. No problem. Thank you so much, hon. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Anna by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Will Anna hear from Hannah by the end of November? All right, we have Two of Swords reversed, Queen of Cups, Six of Swords, Queen of Wands reversed, and Ten of Pentacles reversed. That's a yes from me. That's a yes from me, Anna. And I don't know if you're still here, but it does come with kind of a bummer caveat. So this Two of Swords reversed, if she's confused next month, and I think a big reason why she's not reaching out to you right now. Also, I mentioned that she's very self-judgmental, but I think another big reason is she's also very confused. There might be another woman in her life with this Two of Swords, and especially it being reversed. She's very, very conflicted and confused. Yet she does hold a cup of affection for you with this Queen of Cups, and I do see communication between the two of you. Cups being the realm of emotions, but also being the realm of communications, especially when it comes to communicating emotional things of emotional nature. And I do see this being of a very emotional nature. It may be the conversation that kind of ends conversations. I'm really sorry, Anna. I really hope that it's not. But with the Six of Swords, Six of Swords is moving on, I want to say she is going to get into her metaphorical boat. I'm explaining the caveat right now. You know, I want to say that that the Six of Swords is her choosing to get into her metaphorical boat and move over to you, whether it be physically or emotionally, you know, attaching herself to you, even if it's with a distance. But with this Queen of Wands reversed and Ten of Pentacles reversed, I see I see something coming to an end. Unfortunately, I see something. I don't know if all communication's coming to an end between the two of you, um, but I do get the strong sense that there might be that there's another person involved here, and she hasn't made her decision with this Two of Swords being in its reversed position. She's still very, very confused and hasn't made a decision as to which direction to go, but it's erring more in the direction of 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 the comfort of locality, you know, and not having to worry about long distance, because there is worry that comes with long distance. You don't know what someone's physically doing. You don't know where they physically are. You don't know where they mentally are. It's harder to determine. Um, so keep me posted, because she hasn't made her decision. She knows she wants peace and happiness. But I feel like she's torn. She's torn between two directions here. But that is what I'm seeing for you, Miss Anna. Thank you very much, love, for your donations. I appreciate you. Keep me posted. I'm interested in this for a number of reasons. I had a thing with someone in New York not too long ago, and I always, want to see how things work out. Hopefully. All right. Christy Lynn, thank you very much for your donation, hon. So you would like 2 questions. Okay. My dad passed away 4 months ago, wondering what is going to happen with his will. Christy, I'm sorry, I can't answer your first question. Wills fall into the category of legal questions, so I absolutely can't answer questions about wills. I'm sorry. And I can't answer your second question either. That's absolutely a legal question, and I'm going to get a good payday from my lawyer. Yeah, I can't answer legal or medical questions, love. Third question, what does my future hold? Job, love, career, etc. Yeah, that I can answer. Did you want that to be a 10-card reading, or do you have a fourth? Do you have another question for your second question? Because you can do either 2 5-cards or a 10-card reading. And what's your sign, Christy? I don't know why my chat's not coming up on my phone. It's coming up on here. Hi, Christy. Yeah, I saw you posted your questions above, but I just told you I can't answer the first. First of all, you donated for 2 questions, not 3. 1414 gets you either 2 5-card questions or 1 10-card question. I can't answer anything about wills. That falls into legal. Absolutely, that's a legal question. And I can't answer anything about attorneys. That is absolutely, that falls under legal as well. But I can absolutely ask what your future holds in terms of, we can ask 2 questions. We can ask 1 5-card, what's in Christy's future in regards to her job, and then we can ask a second one, what's in Christy's future in regards to her love. Do you want to do that? Is my family looking over me to protect me? Pisces. Okay. So the first question is really two questions. I can ask what the future holds for your job. I can ask what the future holds for love, but I can't ask. Do you want me to? I can just ask in general, and it'll come out with either love or finance. You want to do that? Okay. And then we'll ask, yeah, if your family is looking over you. Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What does Christy's immediate future hold? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What does Christy's immediate future hold that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What does Christy's immediate future hold that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What does Christy's immediate future hold that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What is within Christy's immediate future that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What is within Christy's immediate future that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What is within Christy's immediate future that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What is in Christy's immediate future that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What is in Christy's immediate future that she should know about? Angels, messages, and spirit guides. What is in Christy's immediate future that she should know about? Seven of Pentacles, the Emperor reversed, Five of Cups reversed, the World reversed, and Four of Swords. Okay. Are you currently working right now, Christy? Because we'll start with the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is slow. It's progress. You are making progress in your life, but it's slow progress. It's rather frustrating. I think the first word that comes to my mind when I think of the Seven of Pentacles is frustration. It's like watching, well, the art, now that I'm using the traditional deck today, is of a gentleman who has planted a plant of some type, and he's waiting and waiting and standing there and waiting for the flowers to bloom or the fruits to come to the vine. And it's slow moving. It's slow moving. And it's usually a sign that you may not be on the right path right now. With this Emperor Reversed card, the Emperor Reversed is often, in this case, how I feel the Emperor Reversed is I feel the Emperor Reversed is talking about a male authority figure in your life who is not good. He's either abusing his power. I don't know if this is a boss of yours, or like a landlord, or I'm not quite sure. But it's something about a negative male influence, or no, boss. Yeah, because I was going to say, it's not so much, influence isn't the right word, because they don't influence you too much. It's not like a bad boyfriend or something that's like, giving you bad, influencing you badly in some way. It's not like that. It's someone who's abusing their power. And Spirit is saying that something needs to come to a close. Something needs to come to a close here, and it's something that you've got to really think about. With this Four of Swords, it's something that they want you to meditate on. Four of Swords being the meditation card, taking a step back and really observing, really analyzing what you would want to see happen in your life. What would the ideal job that you have look like? Have you started looking at other jobs? Because what I'm getting here is that Spirit wants you to move on to the next chapter. Because they're saying that the chapter is over, baby. The chapter, like, this job is like a closed chapter. There's nothing more to be gained from it. And there's so much more for you to gain in this life from other opportunities and other places. And that's what I'm also seeing here with this Five of Cups reverse in the center. Five of Cups upright is already not a great card. It's feelings of regret, feelings of loss, feelings of not having enough. And when we have it reversed, it's like that, those feelings just not being resolved and not being resolvable within your current position. Executor. What do you mean, executor? What do you mean by that? The Emperor is an executor. Yeah, Spirit's really my nephew. Oh. He's the executor, and he's... Oh, okay, so you think it's not your boss. Interesting, because what I'm seeing here is, and the message I'm getting from Spirit is they're not talking about an executor of an estate at all. They're talking, and in fact, they don't get involved in wills. That's fun fact. They won't get involved in wills. Like Spirit, they deal with the spiritual aspect of death. They don't deal with anything regarding that. What I'm getting here is they want you to move on to another job. That's like the main thing. It's like your main boss, who I'm assuming is a guy, is bad. He's not a good one. He's not a good leader. He's not a good manager, and he's not going to get better. And he's abusing his power, and you would grow and do exponentially better, finding another place to work. Because and Spirit's saying that with full confidence that you, like, as soon as you start, if you haven't already started looking, as soon as you start looking, you're gonna find, a lot of very appropriate matches for you and your skill set and your value and what you enjoy doing. And then the second question you had was whether you were wondering if your family members are watching over you to protect you. Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over her and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over her and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over her and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over her and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over her and protecting her? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, are Christy's deceased family members watching over her and protecting her? Knight of Wands reversed, Two of Wands, King of Cups reversed, Knight of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. Absolutely, absolutely. I was just going to say, girl, I was gonna say, I will be absolutely floored. I would be absolutely shocked. My jaw would be on the ground if the answer had been no. But yes, they are 100% watching over you and protecting you. There is a caveat here, and I'll start with it. With this interesting, this was the first reading I did earlier, and this was the first card. And it started with a caveat. This Knight of Wands reversed. They are saying that while they watch over you like a hawk, like I'm really glad I'm using the traditional deck today, because I usually use other like artsy decks, and I'll usually explain, like I'll describe what the original artwork is to just to explain the meaning of the card. But here we have a guy who's literally watching the world. He has a globe in his hand and he's watching over the world. And it's like, where are your deceased loved ones? they're up there. They're watching down on you, protecting you. But they are saying that there's only so much that they can do, and there's only so much that they can influence with this King of Cups reversed and Knight of Wands reversed. They can do a lot. They can do a lot, and they definitely protect you and watch over you all the time. But when it comes to like you managing your own for some reason they're getting into emotional states. That's something that they can't control. And it's something that's difficult for them to work with, because they remember how it feels to be human. And spirits, I don't want to say they don't have feelings, but they're very pragmatic and don't have the sensitivities that we do, but they are aware of them. They because they were, on this earthly realm at one point too. But they're saying that, whether, when the tide is rocky and when the tide is calm, they're always watching over you, and to really have faith in that, they are they have your best interests in mind, and always will. Yeah, they watch over you like a hawk. And the love they have for you is never ending with this Knight of Cups. And they're also saying that, again, they just want to remind you, like, that they've got your back at all times when it comes to, your protection, your safety, but you also have to do your part too. And there's a lot that is, there with this Page of Pentacles. Actually, I shouldn't say, this is what they're saying is there's a lot more that you have a lot more agency and a lot more power than you think you do. You're in control of a lot more than you think you have control over. You've got a lot more in your hands than you think you might. And by that I mean, like, in terms of like what you can control, what you can make happen, manifest. But yes, 100%, your loved ones are watching over you. I can't believe how literal this is to this Two of Wands. Like, literally, like, with the earth in their hands, they are watching over you, as they always do, So yes, that is what I am seeing for you, Miss Christy Boo. Thank you so much, love, for your donation. I really appreciate you. Sorry I couldn't answer legal questions, but I'm not a legal professional, but I hope that all gets taken care of. I know it will. I'm sure, and I have no doubt it will, and in your favor. And much love and light to you. If you haven't, I lost my 2 brothers and 1 sister and my dad. That's a lot of loss. I'm so sorry, hon. I was gonna say that. I was thinking that when I was shuffling. I didn't want to ask, like, so how many people have you lost? That's such a rude question to ask, but I felt that. I was like, I feel like Christy's lost quite a few people. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Family members. I can't imagine. I'm so sorry, love. Yeah, no, they watch over you like a hawk. Absolutely. And they won't stop. They're not gonna stop. So yeah, always have faith that they're watching over you, because they love you. And yeah, they love to see you get a new job, girl. That's what they would love to see, because there's more to it, I feel, with that new job message too, because they were saying something about, like, this being a whole, like, redirecting your whole path in life, and opening up new doors, not just in terms of like finance and self sovereignty and agency and independence, but also in terms of like expanding your horizons, meeting new people, possibly even meeting someone in a romantic context, in the workplace. But they're saying that chapter is closed. Time to open a new book. Not even that chapter, that book is closed. Time to just open up a new title entirely. Well, thank you so very, very much, love. Much love and light to you, sweetheart. I really appreciate you. All right. Um, so we are all caught up with donations. So the donation queue is currently open. I knew it. I have felt it at my dad's house. Full body goosebumps and chills. Oh, I bet. Yeah, yeah. You would feel it more, especially you would feel it more within his home than if you were to visit. I don't know if he was buried or I'm sure he has a plaque somewhere. A lot of people expect to find spirits at where they've been interred. But as a medium, I will say I visit graveyards a lot and very not it's very uncommon for me to encounter spirits in graveyards. And for a while, I wondered, like, I wonder why that is. Like, I'm a medium, like, I have this clear channel towards spirits. Hi, Austin, welcome. Yet, whenever I go to graveyards, I don't reach contact with people. Not like I'm looking to do that. I just like the peace of graveyards. So I thought, oh, maybe it's because I visit old graveyards and people have reincarnated. But that's not. I don't think that's the case. I don't. I think the case is here's how I looked at it. I was like, okay, when I die, because it's inevitable, we're all going to. When I die, where would I hang out after my death? And I thought about it. I'm like, I wouldn't hang out at my grave. Why would I hang out? That's such a bummer. I'd be at like I don't know, at like a fashion show or like my favorite museum, or you know what I mean. I'd be around things that I love and or my home, and so that makes sense that you felt his spirit in his home. Um, that really makes sense. Absolutely. You're so welcome, Christy. You are very welcome, love. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt he is watching and your other family members are too. Yeah. Right with the globe just in their hand. Yeah, so the donation queue is open, so whoever donates next will be read next. And now I'm starting to sound all nasal and stuffy. This happened to me last night too. And then early, I think I must have allergies because my left eye was watering all day today until like 2 p.m. He's in an urn still at his home. Okay, so he's resting at his home. Um, but it still is his home place. He's not in a graveyard. He's not at a crematorium. He's in his home. I think that's a wonderful resting place. Me too, Christy. I love visiting old graveyards. I love it. Um, Here, let me show you something. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I took this in Paris. I was talking to my friend about this photo today. I took this photo in Paris. I can't really make it big. Maybe, oh. There's this old lady at Montpère-Lachaise Cemetery. I haven't seen her in like 5 years. I hope she's still with us. But that little cat was always following her around, and she was deeply arthritic. She would have difficult time like walking up the hills and everything at Montpère-Lachaise. But I don't know if she was a paid Gaudian or if she was a volunteer. But she was always there, and she was always taking care of the cats and taking care of the plants. And I just thought she was really beautiful. It's really weird. I was just talking to my friend this morning about that photo. Yeah, I love visiting old graveyards. There's a couple of really nice ones in Paris. Um, Not too many cool ones here to be TBQH. And most of the dead in San Francisco actually were all moved to Colma, which is a little suburb outside of San Francisco, where the dead actually outnumber the living in population. It's the only city in the world. But yeah, they needed space, I guess. I believe these are bodies from like the 40s, 50s, 60s, but still, they moved them over to Colma from San Francisco, so they don't have too many cool graveyards. I don't know if we even have any real cemeteries here. Now that I think about it, I think most people get buried in Oakland. That's my favorite. Is Mountain View Cemetery in Oakland. That's where like important people from the Bay Area get buried. I was there when Mayor Ed Lee was having his funeral, actually. I just happened to be at the cemetery that day. It was like 8 years ago. It was sad. Really beautiful place, though. Mugway. I watched the movie Tarot last night. There's a movie called Tarot. Is it new? Oh my god, there's this movie I really want to see. I'm gonna try and watch it tonight. It's by Luc Besson. He did The Fifth Element and like La Femme Nikita. Um, it's about this like psycho guy who becomes a crossdresser, and he's a serial killer too. I know, but it looks like a really, really good movie. What is it called? Dogman. Dogman. It came out in 2023, and I never ended up seeing it. Yes, from last year on Netflix. There's one in Garden Prairie, Illinois that dates on the headstone poisoned by the doctor and his wife. Oh my god, it says that on the headstone. That's justice. That is poetic justice, girl. It's so tragic, but that's poetic justice. Like, let that, and I hope the doctor's name was on there. Like, Dr. So and so. Like, poisoned by Dr. So and so. Oh my god. And his wife, the accomplice. That's, wow. That's really creepy, girl. It's a horror film, Austin? Oh, okay. I don't know. Is it good? I like horror, but so long as it's like good horror, or like really bad horror, but like good horror, but not too bad. I like the Paranormal Activity movies. I think that's a good example of good horror. Well, there's better examples for sure. Oh my god, like Dario Argento. Um, but yeah, I guess I'll try and check out Tarot. Um, I hate that it's a horror. I kind of hate that it's a horror film. Why are we being associated with horror? Tarot, horror. Like, I'm assuming what? Like, the death card, like, anthropomorphizes and becomes a little creature and starts chasing people down or something. That I would watch. That I would definitely watch. there was a book written about this doctor. How did you find? Did you research it? It's not the first. It's not the first time I've ever heard of a case like that. Especially back in the day. I'm sure, it happens now too. Scary. But especially back in the day when poisons were just far more common and accessible. You have a patient that for whatever reason, you're tired of them or whatever. You've got no conscience. I've definitely heard stories of that, like, yeah, early part of the century, both in the US and in Europe, like lacing people's medicine with arsenic and things like that. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, it's not the best movie. We need to work on tarot not being painted with that. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying, Austin. That's what I was hoping you, because I had a feeling you were gonna say it was a horror movie, just because it's spooky season, and because that's the unfortunately that's like the general consensus of people that don't know what tarot is. They just assume like, ooh, spooky, ooh, freaky tarot cards. That's a quote from Bob's Burgers, but yeah, they're not freaky or spooky. Yeah, we do need to paint them in a much better light. They shouldn't be associated with horror. Um, there's nothing horrific about tarot at all. There's horror in the answers we get sometimes, but that's not the tarot. It's just life. Just horror in life. The case of the murderous Dr. Cream, and yes, it says his name on the headstone. Dr. Cream? That's really his name? I'll have to check that out. It says his name on the headstone. Good, good. I hope there's a little pamphlet next to the headstone advertising the book too. Shame, shame, shame. Cancel. Excuse me, should have kept that muted. Blowing my nose over here. I will have to check that book out. I'm in the middle of reading something right now for my class, but I will do my best to pick that up. And I live right across the street from the library now, or one of the branches, so maybe I could find it there. I wonder. I could actually probably look it up right now. Ah, I see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The case of the murderous Dr. Cream.
Disco library have a taste of
I'm sure they have it.
Looks like a popular book.
They do! Oh, but it's checked out. Oh, wait. No, it's at the Anza branch. Shoot.
Okay, and the Marina and Richmond.
Okay.
That's hecka close.
Yeah, it's at like 4 of the different branches, so
I'll check that out.
And we just received a donation from Miss Denise. Thank you so much, hon. Hi, Denise. How are you, sweetheart? Denise, you there, girl? Has the Delta recruiters made a decision about me moving on to the next step? Let's see. Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides, have the Delta recruiters made a decision about moving Denise? I don't know, Austin. I don't know. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. I know that a Jewish school in Pacifica had a tarot project, but I'll get into that later. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made a decision about moving Denise onto the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made their decision about moving Denise onto the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made their decision about regarding Denise onto the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made a decision about Denise moving on to the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made a decision about Denise moving on to the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made a decision about Denise moving on to the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made a decision about Denise moving on to the next step? Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Have the Delta recruiters made a decision about Denise moving on to the next step?
have the Delta recruiters made a decision about Denise moving on to the next step? The Hermit reversed. The Sun reversed. The Moon. It happens so often. The Sun and the Moon right next to each other. Judgment. And Three of Cups. No. They have not made a decision about moving you on to the next step. They are in the process right now. They are in deliberations. With this, starting with the Hermit reversed card. The Hermit upright is the keeper of knowledge, is the one who's already made a decision, who's already decided on something, made a decision. The Hermit reversed is someone who's in the dark, someone who doesn't know. And speaking of not knowing and being in the dark, we have both the Sun reversed and the Moon right next to each other. I've been waiting over 4 weeks now after completing my video interview. Did they give you a time frame as to when they would reach out to you? Because what I'm seeing here is they're still in deliberations, hun. With this Judgment card, they still are making their decision. They're still in deliberations, and they did look at your video interview very favorably. You're definitely a viable candidate, but there are a lot of viable candidates, so it's a very difficult decision for them to make. No, they just gave me an email about still reviewing my video. That's it. Yeah, they are. They're still reviewing it, and there's with this Three of Cups too, girl. There's a lot of people that this has to go past before they make a final decision. And I know another person who's trying to. Are you trying to be a flight attendant? Because I have a friend who's trying to be a flight attendant right now, and right now it's very, very competitive. I think most job markets are very competitive right now. So there is competition, but you are a very viable candidate with this Three of Cups. They haven't made their decision. They're still in the midst of making their decision. They haven't done it. They're in the dark. They don't know. The Moon, the Sun reverse. That's not knowing. But it's also it not knowing. They don't know. So it's not a yes. It's not a no. I'm not seeing any clear yes or no here. What I'm seeing is they're still working on it. And 4 weeks does feel like an exceptionally long time. Not gonna lie, that sounds like a little bit longer than needs to be taken to come to a decision. But they had a lot of candidates. They have a lot of candidates that they have to go through. And then, they're left with maybe like 50 or 100 candidates, and from those, they have to sift through those. And I feel like because they're still making a decision. It's not a yes or a no. You're a really good candidate here. Like, you're at the end game. Like, you're one of the last few people that they're deciding on. So that's the good news, is you have made it very, very far. Bad news is that they just haven't made the decision yet. But it looks much more like it's going to be in your favor than not. Okay. And I wouldn't be afraid to reach out to them again, just to ask, just to express your ardent interest in this position, and your curiosity in knowing, yes or no, because you really, really like this job, or you really want this job. I wouldn't be afraid to message them, just poke them, and ask, when can I expect to hear from you? It's been 4 weeks, they'll probably say the same thing. They'll probably say they're still reviewing it, but they might also add, like, we're still reviewing. But that's the thing, is if they're still reviewing it, that's good news. That's good news. You're still in the running. I just hope, if you haven't gotten it, I just want them to tell you yes or no. Or I want them to tell you no if you haven't gotten it. You know what I mean? That drives me bananas when it's like you just want to hear, like, either yes or no. It's like, either way, just don't leave me hanging. But I feel because you're so far in the running, I feel like you'll be getting a call for them, whether it's yes or no. Yeah, exactly. You just want clarity. Yeah, yeah. And that's you had the sun reverse there, and the sun is all about clarity. It's my card for today. It's all about clarity, truth, knowing, and they don't know yet, but they're getting close. They're getting close. Enough time has passed. Well, thank you so much, Denise. I appreciate you, and yeah, I hope I brought you some clarity there in a place where there in time where there isn't a whole lot of it. Yeah. All right. All right. So the donation queue is currently open. So whoever makes a donation next will be read for next. Thank you so very much. And we have just received a donation. Thank you so much, love, for your donation. Please let me know what your username is so I can add you to the queue and we can get started with your reading. And I will ring the bell. Thank you, Miss Lynn. The Heart Sense. That's your name, right? Yes, thank you so much, love. I hope you're doing well. Hope you are doing well tonight, love. I don't know why my face is looking like red. It might be the lighting or something. I'm not quite sure. Sorry about the red face. I had a job interview a couple of days ago. Okay, congrats. Awesome. You want to see where they're at? If they've made a decision or if they still haven't made a decision? Yeah. You just messaged some spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? You just messaged the spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? You just messaged the spirit guides. Did Lynn end up getting the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? You just messaged the spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? You just messaged the spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? Spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? Here's messages and spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? Here's messages and spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? Here's messages and spirit guides. Did Lynn get the job she interviewed for a couple of days ago? Three of Wands, Ace of Swords reversed, Three of Swords reversed, Six of Wands, and the Devil. It looks like you did, girl. It looks like you did. It looks really promising. Looks really promising. So I literally, the reading that I gave right before you was a very similar question. A young lady had had a job interview and it had been 4 weeks for her, and they were still on the fence. We got the Two of Wands. Oh no, we got Judgment. That was it. Here we have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands and Two of Wands is all about decision making. Three of Wands especially is about patience and time, deliberations. They have not, Ace of Swords reversed is I see that they have not communicated anything to you, and clearly they haven't. You wouldn't be here if they had. Three of Swords reversed is telling me don't despair, don't worry. There won't be disappointments here because we have this beautiful Six of Wands, which is victory, success, which is a win. And we also have the Devil, which is also your card, Miss Capricorn. But it is also a symbol of one's job, of being bound to a job. Yeah, you haven't heard anything back. Exactly. And it might be, so I think that they've already made their decision. I think that you're going to hear from them probably, I don't want to say, because I know tomorrow's Friday. It's possible Friday, possible Monday. But it is definitely I don't think they've made their final decision, but it's really like erring on the side of you getting the job. They really see you as a really appropriate, not just an appropriate candidate for the position, but a really good fit for the environment in general, for the workspace in general. That this is a good union between you and them. That you belong there with the devil. Excuse me. And Six of Wands is a win, is a victory, finding victory. Three of Wands is about patience, so have patience, love. Um, it's not just about deliberations. It's also about, it has to be passed through other people. Other people have to approve things. But this looks really, really good. This looks really good, Lynn. And especially with the devil being you being a Capricorn card. And Capricorns are such. You guys are I always say the hardest working sign in the zodiac. But yeah, this looks like a good fit for you. They feel it's a good fit for you. They want you to be a part of the team. Just a little bit more time, and I do see them reaching out to you. And just like I suggested to my last client, they gave me an assessment that felt like the SATs. Yeah. So and that's part of that Three of Wands too. Is those deep deliberations, like really making sure that you really are the best candidate for the position. Because it's not super competitive, but there is some competition. But I also feel like you're like at the top. You don't think you did well on it? I think you did. I think you did, and I because there's what I'm seeing here is you definitely made a good impression on them, Lynn. You made an extremely good impression on them. And if they have not decided on you already, which is quite possible, it's a matter of like you are like the closest contender. I enjoyed talking to them in the actual interview. Yeah, and they enjoyed it too. And that's the thing, is even if you didn't, I was just going to mention, even if you didn't do well on the assessment portion, that meant less to them than what than your parlance with them, than your conversation, than what you express to them. Not everyone's good at tests, or even assessment tests. Some people get stressed out, and some of those questions can be a little dicey, and really it can really be, it's nothing that you can really prepare for too much. They can be highly specified, just like the SATs, but at least you can prepare for those. But I feel like regardless of whether you did well or not on that, that's not really important. I was told initially that it was a personality test. Interesting. Okay. Well, if it is a personality test, then there's nothing to be graded on that. It's just who you are. And I feel like they really do like who you are, and especially with the devil card there, like they feel like your personality type is an exceptional fit for their workplace. But it was like the actual SATs, math and sequence. Oh, that's bizarre, girl. That's really weird. So they say it's an assessment personality type test, but there were actual mathematic sequence type questions. That's very strange. That's a little strange. Well, maybe that's why the test doesn't mean so much to them, because I'm sure a lot of people don't do incredibly well on that, because that's something that you really need to like bone up on. I think for a lot of people who haven't taken a standardized test in a while, that's of a similar nature to the SATs, the standardized tests. Yeah, I could see a lot of people having difficulty with that. So, yeah, again, I don't think that's as relevant as the assessment they were making just with you one-on-one, beyond the test. I have to study for those type of tests. I'm not a brainiac. I'm the same way. And I wouldn't call myself a brainiac, but I am kind of nerdy, and yeah. But I think everybody needs to bone up on tests like that. Like, there's things that I know, sure, but that I haven't like refreshed touched since I was like 18 or 19, like algebra and things like that. So like, yeah, if I had a test that had like certain like mathematic like questions on it, I would definitely have to bone up. And it's not that I don't know these things. It's just it's been so long, and I'm sure they're aware of that. They should be aware of that, and furthermore, understanding of that. But yeah, it definitely feels like that's less important than other things. Um, it's far less important than the overall impression that you left on them. Is what I'm getting here. Um, Looks very good. Looks very promising. Um, and I don't. Yeah. So you interviewed a couple of days ago. Um, I don't know when they told you, or if they told you when they would be reaching out to you. Um, but if you again, if I'd say if you don't hear from them by like Tuesday, I don't be afraid to reach out to them and just let them know that you are very ardently interested in this job, and it knowing whether you got it or not means a lot to you. And yeah, I don't think that would go against you in any way. If anything, I think it would be a good thing. I know it's a good thing because it shows that you're fervent about wanting to be there, and it's still on your mind. They said they were interviewing others. Okay. So yeah, I would just wait till Tuesday, Wednesday or so, because yeah, I did that. Three of Wands is also about deliberations, so they probably are interviewing others. I think somewhat reluctantly. I do think that they found like they really found the candidate that they really really like in you. But they still have to go through with the interviews that they scheduled. I told my recruiter I was turned off by the assessment. That was more than the personality type portion. Yeah, it's a little odd. That's a little odd. I have to admit, that's a little odd. I don't know what that says about the company in general and how they operate and how they plan on operating. Once and if you get the job, that does seem a little peculiar to me. Because I've definitely heard of assessment. They have assessment tests all the time for jobs. But yeah, they're like largely personality tests and not, definitely not like academic tests of any type. So yeah, it's a little odd. I'm glad you voiced that to your recruiter. But overall, Lynn, this looks good. This looks good. It looks promising. Um, looks like you're definitely like the top contender. And they still have to interview those people because they, set aside those interviews. They scheduled them. But yeah, it looks very, very promising for you. All right. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing, Lynn. It looks promising. Um, don't know so much about the job itself. Again, like you said, it's a little odd. Or I don't think it's it, but I think it's a little odd. This whole saying it's an assessment test or saying it's a personality test, and it's more like an SATs. Very strange. But I'm sure it's not the first time a workplace has done that. But it also, yeah, calls into question it does call into question a little bit how they would operate. The position is for an office administrator. Okay. I don't see how that is necessary for an office administrator. I mean, I understand that there's going to be certain times where I guess some of that stuff will be necessary, but I'm also guessing not, right? I don't know. Doesn't seem necessary for me, but that could just be me. I don't know. Yeah, a lot. But overall, looking very promising in terms of you getting the position. Yeah, it is odd. Hopefully they won't be odd when hopefully you get the job. You are very welcome. You're very welcome, Lynn. Thank you, hon. Much love and light to you. All right, so yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Feel free to let me know. I'd like to know, if you end up getting this position because it does look very promising. I'm also curious to know what the environment's like there. Yeah. So, all right. So I have been on for a little over 2 hours. So it's that time of night. Yes, please keep me updated, love. Thank you. So it's that time of night. I'm going to do a last call for all donations. I have no idea. I have no idea if I'm going to be on tomorrow night. I'll do my very best. Oh, I think I have plans tomorrow night. I think I have plans with a friend. So if I do go on tomorrow night, it'll probably be a little earlier, probably around like 3 or so. Because girlfriend needs to live her best life on Friday night. But last call, everybody. If you have a question that you need to have answered tonight, please let me know, and I would love to answer it for you. God, this sweater is kind of making me chunky monkey. Last call tonight for any and all donations. If you have a question and you would like Miss Sophie to read it for you tonight, just send your donation on over and I will happily read it for you. Otherwise, I will do my best to be on tomorrow. Do my best to be on Saturday. I will not be on Sunday. Likely won't be on Saturday, but I'll also do my best. I do my best. But with that being said, always click the notification bell on your subscription to me. That way you know each and every time I go live, you will be notified. Hi, Wendy. Just got here and wanted to tell you that you were right about Christian. He's trying to be nice to me to start conversation. Yeah. Not surprised at all, Wendy. I'm not surprised. Yeah, he's wanting to get back into your good graces. But I kept it professional and short. I'll catch you next time you're on for a reading. You can do a reading now if you wanted, Wendy. It's still last call if you want to do a reading now. I'm full of beans. I'm happy to read for you. Unless you wanted to specifically do it next time. I'm just not sure when I'll be on next time. I'm experimenting with Twitch tomorrow. Oh, you gotta let me know how that goes, Austin. Let me know. I have a friend, a fellow reader, who I think she was thinking about trying experimenting with Twitch. I really want to experiment with TikTok, but the whole problem with TikTok is you can't live stream unless you have like something like 2,000 or 3,000 followers. So I'd have to amass that many followers, which I heard isn't as difficult on TikTok. Not nearly as difficult as it is amassing subscribers on YouTube or other platforms, but I also haven't tried at the same time. Last call tonight. Last call, everybody, for any and all donations. If you've got a question that you would like, I need to collect my thoughts, so I'll do it next time. Absolutely. I hear you, girl. I hear you. Thank you so much. You too, love. You have a wonderful rest of your night. I hope the weather was lovely here today. I don't know how it was for you, but it was lovely today here. All right. It looks like everyone is happy and taken care of. Thank you all so very much. I'm glad I went live. I wasn't feeling super physically well earlier, so I almost didn't go live, but I did, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, I'll do my best to come on tomorrow. Well, I definitely won't be on Sunday, but I'll do my best to come on tomorrow and Saturday for y'all. Much love to you guys. Love and light. Good night.